Defensor wants to clear the record about her role in the events that culminated in the recording of a conversation between herself, fellow staffer Michael Bumagat, and the lieutenant governor's wife. It's a recording she says was released on a blog site without her consent. Nevertheless, it is a recording that has since brought about questions of whether or not Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio attempted to use a public safety master plan the two staffers had put together as part of his final requirement for his master's degree. The lieutenant governor has denied these allegations. In her statement, Defensor says that the recording was, quote, not in any way an effort on my or Michael's part to publicly accuse the lieutenant governor of academic fraud or impugn his character, end quote. Instead, she explains that the two were simply questioning the possibility in order to obtain reassurances that no one would, quote, construe our work as fulfilling the lieutenant governor's degree requirements, end quote. So why were they even thinking this? Well, Defensor goes on to explain that her concerns arose after she and Bumagat met with the lieutenant governor. She says, quote, in this meeting, we discussed our draft of the public safety master plan. During that meeting, the lieutenant governor made repeated references to his class project and the deadlines for his class project. After the meeting, my coworker and supervisor sat around wondering what the lieutenant governor's intentions were with our master plan draft and his coursework. In a later meeting, our supervisor had admitted prior to this revelation that he too was concerned that the master plan was to be used for the lieutenant governor's graduation requirements. The following morning, the lieutenant governor stated that he received an extension for his project, but he needed a 3,000-word executive summary written by the end of the day. Defensor says that they never accused the lieutenant governor of fraud, but that they simply had a concern and thus sought guidance, taking the matter to their immediate supervisor, Eric Palacios. When they didn't hear back from him, they became anxious and took it up with Governor Calvo's chief of staff, Frank Arreola. Arreola met with the lieutenant governor and afterwards told Defensor and Bumagat that the lieutenant governor assured him that he would not use their work for his class. As for the recording, Defensor says she and Michael were called into the lieutenant governor's chambers and found that they were instead meeting with his wife, attorney Naoko Shimizu. Defensor says, quote, she appeared extremely agitated. I instinctively knew that something was wrong, and I needed a recording to protect myself and my coworker from slander, defamation, and blacklisting. The recorded meeting occurred on Tuesday, April 5th, 2011, after 5:30 p.m., end quote. Defensor goes on to explain how the lieutenant governor's wife did eventually apologize to both of them, but that she simply did not feel comfortable working there anymore. She kept the recording and shared her story with a few close friends, just in case, because she feared for her personal and professional reputation. She states that she did not authorize the release of the recording and was extremely upset that it happened. She also notes that this is a very high-profile and political situation, and that, quote, I refuse to be a political pawn for the gain of one or detriment of another, end quote. In her email that accompanies the actual statement, Defensor says she hopes this, quote, will end whatever rumors are being made out there, including that I was a GA or a Gutierrez Uggan supporter that was infiltrated into the CT, Calvo Tenorio administration. So how does the governor feel about all of this?
When this issue came about, I got together with my lieutenant governor, and I brought this issue with him, and he's assured me that there is no wrongdoing, that this is again an accusation that is unfounded, and I believe my lieutenant governor and move forward from there.
The governor says it's important to now move forward and focus on the issues that are of vital importance to our community, like the supplemental budget and the biennial budget.
There was something that was stated in a recording, and with that, that's all it was.
But what about the conduct of the lieutenant governor's wife?
I do wish that there was the type of words that came out did not occur. But again, not many people realize they're being recorded, and sometimes when people are speaking and speaking with emotion, unfortunately, some very strong words come out. I wish it didn't occur, but it did occur. I have a lot of respect for Ray. He's a good man. He's worked hard as a public servant, both as a policeman, as a senator, and now as a lieutenant governor. We're moving in a direction to improve the quality of this government and this community, and I would hate to see something occur as a result of statements made in an unauthorized recording. But be that as it may, I do believe that the lieutenant governor has stated to me that there's been no wrongdoing, and I believe him. As far as I'm concerned, it is over.